Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's Montez McCamish from itsmontez.com, and I brought to you a large panel. Very first time we've ever done this. But I know that this panel is going to be able to put some kind of inspiration, insight, or something into you. Business people, musicians, DJs, beat creators, entrepreneurs, finance and accounting, web graphic designers. It's all sitting right here, right now. It's all right here, right now. We are live. So if you got a question, make sure you throw that inside the question box, better known as the comment box, and we'll make sure to answer any of those questions inside this live. So without further ado, I'm going to let them go ahead and go down the roll and introduce themselves. And again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Get this knowledge, get this power, and let it take you somewhere else. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Let's not all jump at once. Somebody.
All right. Well, since I hear such silence, I'll introduce myself first. What's up, world? It's the man himself, North Star America. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an internet marketer. I do music. I do all sorts of stuff, graphic design, but my main thing that I'm focused on more than anything is internet marketing. That in a nutshell is basically I take things and I market them over the internet to sell, whatever it might be. So that's pretty much it for me. Next person.
Okay, I'll go ahead and go. My name is Shania Williams. I have two full parts in this. I am HR for Click Media Design, and I also handle finances. Um, my role in this will, I'm an accountant, and my role in this is to bring artists, employed people from the ground floor up. I'll help you with your taxes, if you're all of your finances, as far as if you need help getting your credit report build, your credit build, or just anything financial. That's my role.
I'll go next. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm Miss Valencia Nash. As far as my role, first of all, I'm active duty military. I'm in the Marine Corps. I've been in the Marine Corps for 17 years. I just came back to my hometown and I ran across a lot of artists who were very talented. However, they just didn't understand the business side of the music business. And so people had asked me throughout the years about managing their career. And so, you know what? I said, people have time for the things that they want to have time for. And although I'm busy and have husband, children, and run multiple businesses, I agreed and I said yes. And I'm excited about it. So I manage artists. I manage some DJs, some models, authors, just a whole host of people that are in different stages of their career, but most importantly, just helping them to understand the business side. Also, I do a lot of things in the international market. So we actually have an office in Hong Kong, and it's IU Music Group. So with that, I do PR work. So a lot of press releases and things of that nature, music distribution in the international side. One of the big things that we stress is that we have a 4.5 billion reach over in Asia. And so tapping into that market is very important. So we actually have our own distribution platform, international publishing, and things of that nature. So they just have to read my bio to see all the host of things, because it's not just one key area of focus. I do also internet marketing and marketing for some movies that we are shooting. So, but I'm just here. Inspiration, women's empowerment. That's another big thing, inspiring young girls and women, and just inspiring people, because sometimes people forget and stop dreaming. So just passing my positive energy along.
I guess I'll jump in. Can everybody hear me? I am Mr. 50 DJ. I am a vertical Midwest, vertical Atlanta, vertical Florida, Central Florida rep. I do a magnitude of things. I'm a networker of networkers, encompassed with people like yourself. Instead of me being behind the desk, I'm more of the physical presence guy. I deal with not as well. I do some social media marketing, but I'm more a directive. I'm a direct marketer. I do a lot of things on the entertainment side when it comes to being in the club, taking artists to the club. I had a street team in 4 different states. We do artist solicitation on spot, on site, on location. Obviously, I am a DJ. That is my love, my passion. I've been doing it for 20 years. I take artists through a very serious vetting process. I'm not really on the side where I deal with startup artists. I kind of deal with people like what I'm talking to right now on this panel, where you guys have actually got them to the point where they need to be as far as moving forward. And then I kind of take them along with some other people who I'm affiliated with, and then we actually try to get them to the next level. I think one of the biggest things a lot of artists struggle with is, one, having people like what's on this panel, and then 2, having a DJ that's actually going to help them connect with other DJs in different regions and different parts of the country. Now, the young lady did mention about the international market. That's good. I think we're probably going to be doing some connectivity when it comes to that, because that's one of the things I always try to stress with artists, is to get on the other side of the pond, which is a lot of opportunities over there. So I think that's awesome. So we're going to see a future in that. Also, I'm going to be dialed in with Hot Noise Magazine, which is another DJ digital platform, somewhat similar to Vertigo, but just another extension thereof. Also, with the Vertigo itself, it's not just, it may seem like it's just an upload and, you get the email blast to the DJs, but there's a lot more things encompassed with that. We do a lot of your monitoring far as when it comes to, your downloads, et cetera, your plays on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week basis. And also Vertigo is primarily a website to DJs, promoters, record labels, investors, et cetera. We do once a year, every now and then, twice a year, a big music conference in Dallas. This year is going to be on the 19th. You guys are all welcome to be there. Multiple artists, that's in the industry. Some of them pop up there as guests. I know Lil Ronnie is one of the ones that's been grinding over the past few years, and he's been doing pretty well. So a lot of times he's there. We've had Kevin Gates there. We've had Gotti there. So it's a lot of networking, and being the fact that I don't really have a lot of time to be inside an office. I'm on the road a lot, and I deal with people face to face. So I'm more of a directive marketer, directive promoter, encompassed with me DJing, et cetera, et cetera. So I probably left out some stuff, but I'll probably add it as we go. All right, I'm Mr. 50 DJ. You can find me clear across all platforms. Mr. 50 DJ, www.mr50dj.com. Mr. 50 DJ on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and IG. I have 3 Facebook like pages. It's Mr. 50 DJ, MR, the numeral 5, the DJ. You can just type that in and all my stuff will come up. I pretty much try to stay current on everyday basis throughout the day when I'm free, if I'm not traveling. So, and right now, just to leak something out, we're actually looking for some R&B artists for iStream Records. It's a free distribution, free promotion, free flash flyer promotion, and everything right now. So if you guys have any R&B artists that might fit that profile, feel free, before this is over with, you can shoot me the email and the cover art and their bio and all that. We can go from there.
All right, hey, my name is York Hyatt, aka Big City on the Beat. Engineer out of St. Augustine, Florida. by the way of Palm Coast, Florida. And pretty much I just try to get the different artists, man, try to give artists the sound they need, you know, whatever you need, art, pop, hell, even rock, I don't care. If you need me for beats and engineering, you know, get at me. You can find me on Twitter, Big City Degree, on YouTube, Big City on the Beat, Facebook, Big City on the Beat. That's pretty much that. Big City on the Beat at gmail.com. Like for any inquiries, beat prices, engineer inquiries, something like that you need. So that's all I really.
All right, Dewan, you're the last one, man. You're the last one to introduce yourself, and we'll be able to crack right on into this interview.
It's Click Media Designs. We do web development, graphic designs, computer repair, advertisement ads, and things like that. We do basically all social and graphic design needs for businesses, small businesses, entrepreneurs. And that's what we do, Click Media Designs.
Sweet, sweet. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you all lock your wigs back. I hope that you all get ready to get this information. Him, the kid, and y'all, Leon, Ben, Yeshua, the poet, wordsmith, thank you so much for tuning in. It really means a lot. Like I said, if you all have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment box, and we're going to make sure to ask them. But I think it only does justice. I think it's only fair to break into this conversation talking about networking and the power of networking. We're sitting here right now, and we have a pretty large panel on side of this. And I'd just like to talk about, each one of us go through and talk about the power of networking and how it really changes the diaphragms of where we're looking at. Because again, like a lot of people, they tend to think that even if you're networking from the face to face, or on computer, they think that this is a part that you can leave out. This is a part that is not something that individuals really grab a hold of. Proper networking, that is, properly doing the networking like you're supposed to, connecting with people, being consistent, doing the things like that. So I think this would be a great topic to talk about. So who wants to jump in on this first?
I like to say something. Well, just when I think about networking, period, when I started my journey, like getting out there more and connecting with people, it was more so of my personal development, but also I learned about a technique which was called the know, like, and trust factor. So, you know, like when you're creating content, or you being visible, or me being on my social media and being an inspiration, putting my quotes out there, you know, people feel like they know me, you know, and then it moves from the know to, okay, oh, I like her, you know, and then the next phase is the trust, you know, and so that right there, the know, like, and trust factor, it goes a long way, because even when I'm sharing certain things and I've proved the results through my networking, then people are more prone to go ahead and, you know, hear what I have to say or be a part of whatever it is that I'm doing, because they trust and they've seen the results. And also just with us right now, the networking that's happening, you know, we all have different things that we bring to the table, you know, but we wouldn't know that if we didn't allow ourselves to, you know, be a part of the panel, you know. So networking is always key. There's always somebody else on the other side of the world that you can connect with that can help bring your vision to light. So we should never feel like, you know, we have to do it all on our own. So it's important to network. It's important to communicate, you know, beyond social media, you know, getting on the phone, having those conversations, you know, creating those projects and making it happen. So networking is always key.
I like to kind of elaborate on that. I think there's some good points. Me, I always call myself a networker, or supporter of supporters. one of my biggest pet peeves and one of my biggest core things is face-to-face, direct, seeing who I'm dealing with. I deal with a lot of, I do see a lot of starter artists. I kind of give them some narratives on the approach, what to be prepared for, because, I've been doing this for 20 years, and, you got a lot of young guys or a lot of people that networking is not always high on their list. You know what I mean? So it's like an encouragement factor. And I think she mentioned on that before, is giving them the drive and the willpower so they can be face to face, so they can deal with people in the public when need be. Because when you're an artist or even a DJ, you're automatically in the public. You know what I mean? There's no hiding. You can't be shy. You know what I mean? It's like scared money doesn't make any money. So if you are an artist and say I'm a DJ, when I come outside every day, as you can see on my hat, I'm going to be in some form of representation of something of what I do. Or if you look down here at my shirt today, I'm repping 1300 versus everybody. 1300 versus everybody is a camp out of Covington, Kentucky. You can throw a rock from Cincinnati and hit it, so I'm representing their brand today, but I'm also representing me. You know what I mean? So therefore, this right here creates conversation. What is 13 versus everybody? You know what I mean? So now they're looking at that and then they're looking at my hat. Oh, you're a DJ. Yeah, I'm more than a DJ. I do other things too, but yes, I am a DJ. So the things that you wear a lot of times can generate and create conversation and networking and marketing yourself, whether it's regardless of what you do. It could be working your regular job, your daytime job, or whatever. But you as an embodied individual are and should be in full form of representation of what you do on a day-to-day basis, because it's almost a visual form of a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So nobody can know what anybody does if it's not being seen via direct marketing networking. And that's one of the things I always stress on. I'm always around, like events and concerts and all type of little pop-up events, because that way you have people that's just out. A lot of people don't even have anything to do with music. They're just people. So yes, I wear things to bring attention to me. I DJ, I play music, I play sound to bring attention to me. And that creates that direct networking narrative. And I think that just is evolutionary, and then that leads to the social media marketing, because now we're talking to one another and we're sharing information on the phone, whether it's via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. Now we make that direct contact. We've actually talked to one another. You know how I am, you know what I do, I know what you do. And now we actually can exchange information right there on the spot, even if it's got something to do with another artist or an event or whatever, or I might even get a gig out of the process. So I think networking is evolutionary, and I think it's really imperative that everybody do it on a day-to-day basis. I mean, it literally day-to-day basis. My emails, I got 3 emails accounts. I get over sometimes 100 emails a day, you know what I mean, between the 3. And that's from artists and, whether it's corporates or whatever. I mean, I know I've been working with Carnival. That had a lot to do with me, networking and marketing. If I didn't network and market myself, I wouldn't be DJing a yacht party and a cruise ship on August, you know what I mean? And with some future contracts to do more. So those are some of the things where it can actually lead to bigger things. And that's how it happened to work for me. And I'm certain it can work for other people.
Well, hey, I gotta agree with Mr. Fifth pretty much on you have to make yourself brand. You got to put yourself out there, because I mean, if you don't put yourself out and let nobody know who you are, you'll never get heard of. I mean, especially when it comes to this music and stuff like that. Everybody's a producer, everybody is a DJ now. So I mean, you have to set yourself aside to pretty much be your own brand. You don't want to hear the same thing. Everybody don't want the same thing. Another thing with Florida too is when it comes to networking down here, a lot of Florida artists, I believe, don't stay up. everybody, and you can't just yourself up to being that man. And you gotta, I mean, you got people around, work off each other, get this money together. Ain't no point in everybody trying to be the man and all like that. And I mean, it's money out here to be made for everybody. That's one of the main things that I believe for us down here with Florida artists fall off at. So I mean, I'm whoever, whenever, point blank period, when it comes to this music and all. And is the key. I mean, as far as like me with artists I work, Lynn Calhoun from Dungeon Family. G about some music out here in Florida. That's a rap out of Tampa. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with, but it's pretty much making a brand for yourself and setting yourself aside as far as music and how you go about it. And that's pretty much it. Be your own brand. Network that be seen or be visible.
Does anybody else got anything to say on networking? Anybody else got anything else to say on it?
Yeah, I would like to add something to that, to the whole networking thing. To complement what everybody has said, first, I totally agree. In my experience of everything I've ever done, whether it's music, internet marketing, even as simple as getting a job. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, you know, networking matters in pretty much everything. So you got to get out, meet people, and work with people to get things done. I mean, that's what marketing, I'm sorry, forgive me. That's what networking is all about. It's all about connecting with others so that you can further on and enhance yourself. You don't necessarily have to be in the public eye to get what you want, to accomplish what you want. It just depends on what your position is and what you're doing, particularly what you're working to accomplish. But networking it pretty much in everything. So I agree with everybody and what they said, and that's my additive to it.
I just wanted to add on one thing. So we are the brand, the artist, whatever. We are the product. You know, we have to get that product out there. You talked about Mr. Filth. You talked about like eye-to-eye contact. Just to add on there, I say eye-to-eye contact, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like face-to-face sitting down, because it can be via Skype, especially when you're dealing with the international market. Because I mean, I'm here. I'm in military. You know, I can't always hop on the plane like I would love to, but I will one day because I have that time freedom. To Australia to have the meeting, to go to the Bahamas to have the meeting, and not being afraid to do that, So we never allow for the distance to make us unable to have those conversations of networking as well. There are some amazing people in this world. And that's another thing too. We have to have that type of attitude and know that there are people out here in this world that are amazing and that can help you and that could possibly have the same project or agenda, and they waiting on you. Are you waiting on them? But you have to go out there and get it. So there are some amazing people in this world, and we just got to have that attitude as well so that we're able to attract those things into our lives to make the product, the business, us, better. But yes.
I like to add on that. I think that was an awesome analogy. I guess in reference, I probably didn't break that down more, I guess, statewide, since you deal in a lot of international markets. And yes, you can't do a lot of things via video when it comes to that. Unfortunately, here in the States, even art, picked up some type of buzz. And I had a very alarming conversation about a particular artist. I'm not going to say his name. He's out of Atlanta. You know, he's up and coming, and he's just missing all types of meetings, you know, not shows, face-to-face meetings. A couple of them were even Skype. One of the problems is, I think some people kind of let their egos kind of, you know, really guide their careers instead of really being humble. And I can name at least 5 good artists that their careers has actually declined. I can show you my inbox like, Mr. Fifth, I need your help. I don't have a team. When I can go back 16 months, you know, just back 16 months, and everything was flying high, and Mr. Fifth wasn't even in the picture. Mr. Fifth wasn't even needed when I was actually trying to prepare them on some of the things to do, but so you don't have that drop off, because, you know, life is peaks and valleys. I don't care how you look at it. Nothing's going to be always good. So if you run into a situation, especially as an artist, that artists are very emotional, they get very distraught. They put themselves in situations that sometimes they can't dig themselves out of. And when it comes to knowing as many people as you possibly can, and try to work with as many people as you possibly can that's on your level, and keeping yourself humble, and have a as much of a business mind frame, because, you know, being an artist, releasing music is a product. And I think a lot of artists don't really understand that, you know, oh, I'm an artist, you know. No, you're an artist. People want to make money off of you. If people can't make money off of you, then you're nobody. You're nothing. You know what I mean? So everybody has a say and a partake in that. But understanding what the business you're getting into, the financial aspect. I know the young lady, she specializes in that. Knowing what your budget realm should be, how to manage those budgets, you know, what directives to go in reference into talking to people and being prepared. So, you know, there's a lot of instances where, okay, for the second quarter, I know we're going to have probably $15,000 we got to try to stretch. Okay, now you just let everybody know who you're doing business with on how you can use your money and what you can use your money for in directive of the people that's in your circle. Being like, oh, I got 15,000, you know, being off focus and off stride, you see a lot of artists fall off. And I know everybody has stories about that. I don't want to really get into that. But the biggest thing is, I always try to teach an artist, be an artist or whatever you are 24 hours a day, and make yourself available to as many people that you feel that shares the same interests as you 24 hours a day. When you wake up out of bed, it should be on your mind like, okay, I need to put a post to let everybody know that I'm relevant via social media. You know, I'm going to this particular event. I'm doing this. I mean, I try myself to put stuff out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc., even YouTube at times, to let people know what's going on. It's a directive, and including when I'm out in the public, which I'm getting ready to get stuff set up. I got 15 block parties, at least right now. Those all can be encompassed with me networking with DJs or labels or people like yourself. I like to put myself in a position where wherever I go, the people who I do business with goes. So in question, that not only they know who I am, they know who the people who I deal with and who I work with. And I think that's equally important when it comes to anybody that's networking, especially an artist. You know, if an artist only can say, oh, I got this song out and I'm over here doing this and I got this show, I think his whole perspective of what he's doing is incomplete. You know, you really have to have that all around. And, you know, a lot of artists need to be schooled and humbled and really made sure that they understand that the business that they're getting into is just like, you know, some people say the music game. It's the music business. You know, it is a business. Understand that the process of networking and marketing encompasses itself, and it does require budget, and it does require the proper people that know what they're doing to actually make their career excel.
And you know what? I love that. I love that we can talk about this. We'll go right into this next segment. Let's just go ahead and talk about budgeting. Let's talk about budgets. Let's talk about using the money in the best way that they should be able to. Like, because again, you got 4 quarters. That 4 quarters you got to work with. You got so much money that you got lined out. Some people, they get their tax money, first thing they do, run out. I'm going to spend it straight on campaign. Well, you know, maybe you should have saved a little bit more of that and had saved some of that money that you got from the check, got some of your merch going on, because you can't just spend it all on campaign. That's what I'm trying to go through. You can't just spend your money. Like for me, for instance, I have to promote a lot of the stuff that I do. I have to budget myself out for promotions on the videos that I drop. Now, if I just go ahead and just spend all the money that I had in my account to promote the content that I'm doing, that's not going to value me anything. Maybe if I bleed it out a little bit, I got to be sharing and sparring with my money. So, and then also too, I'd like to touch on investment in self. I get so sick and tired of hearing this all the time in my life. I want to do this, but I don't have the money. Well, I love it so perfectly. I was speaking with Big York and King J the Blunt Man one time, and they were if you could make a acapella mixtape. I just loved it. You know, if you don't have the finances to take care of what I need, to compensate me for taking care of what you can't do, you know, that's basically what that is. When you have to pay for someone's services, you're not paying for, you know, just to pat this person on the back. You're not paying to just give them money because you can't take care of what you're asking this individual to do. You can't take care of it, so you're paying. So I'd love to go on and let's get deep inside of that. Paying for yourself, investing in oneself, and then also just really honing in on it's going to take money to do what you're trying to do.
Well, can I say something too real quick? Because when Mr. Fifth was talking and he was explaining everything, the words that came to my mouth or what to my mind was artist development. And that's what the key is having that artist development. And it used to happen a long time ago, but, you know, nowadays, not so much. So, yes, a artist can miss out on a lot of opportunities. And as far as the finance side, don't want to take away from Ms. Shauna. I know she will be able to speak more on the finances, but you are the product, right? And there's a difference between spending money and investing money, you know, and once you understand what the difference is, then it can help you to move forward. An artist should always have a plan so that they know which course of action they're going to take and how much it's going to cost. And I'll just speak really, really quick. Something that I've been stressing and showing the artists about is making sure that their artist name is an LLC, you know, and then doing things under that business name, you know, and getting business credit. And you can be able to use that, you know, to invest in your music career. However, you want to make sure that you have a plan so that you know that you're getting a return, you know, on your money. So you have that working capital to do certain things that need to get done. And now you're going to be making money instead of feeling like you're always spending money, because it does cost. Or the other option, obviously, you know, have an investor, you know, have somebody, you know, that they have money, they want to do the tax write-off, you know, and to be able to help you invest in your music career. But again, you definitely need to have a plan in place to show, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what the return is going to be. You know, and there's plenty of artists out here, you know, who have been fortunate to connect with investors, you know, and that's obviously investing in yourself. But that's what I had to say about investing in yourself.
I'd like to add to that. It's definitely very important to invest in yourself, because if you don't do it, how do you expect somebody else to put their money up to buy your product or to invest in you as well? So if you can't even do that first step of putting your own money into your own dream or into your own investment to yourself, then it's definitely not going to fly.
Here's my my commentary about it, about investing in yourself. The main thing, my idea, and also I'm speaking from experience as well. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Making sure. Yeah, my commentary is all right. First off, since we are talking about artists, but whoever's watching this and or you're thinking about entrepreneurship, trying to get into something, this discussion isn't just for just, musicians or whatever, but it's for any and everybody. But if you're an entrepreneur, first off, let me address this. If you're an artist, you are an entrepreneur, whether you know it or not, especially if you are independent. But even if someone gets signed to a major label, you are an entrepreneur. You are a business, and the term brand. The main thing is, if you're going to do this, you can't really make excuses about why this isn't happening or why this isn't going a particular way. You just have to find ways to do it. That's what entrepreneurs do. They find a way to make it happen. I'll give you a prime example. And, since this is a part of my experience, I like to talk about it because, it helps people out there. I'm an artist myself, right? I got out of prison. I didn't have no money. What I did is I recorded a whole album on my smartphone. I hooked up, I had my brother produce a bunch of the music, got some music from a couple other people. And then I found this app and I recorded the album on my smartphone, went out to Goodyear, Arizona, stayed with my brother for like 3 months, finished the album up out there, hit the streets with some CDs, loaded it up on CD Baby, and I started selling it, and the name of the album is called Live from My Smartphone. And, and I did that to prove to my daughter that it could be done. That was the whole thing. I didn't do it because I was desperate or anything like that. I'm doing stuff the conventional way, go get some studio time or, find some people to work with and eventually release some product. But instead, talking to her one day, she inspired me because of something I said to her. I was giving her some advice. The power is in your hands. And she's like, what are you talking about? I said, use your smartphone. She's like, no, I don't want to do that because it's not going to come out, the way I want. I said, look, if you're really trying to make it happen, you got to find a way to make it happen. And that's what you do. You don't make excuses. You don't sit there and be like, I can't. No, you say, I'm going to find a way to do it. So that's how Live from My Smartphone was born. I ended up recording a song, releasing generic videos on Facebook. Then it started buzzing a little bit. I mean, nothing went viral, but I can tell you this much. I made a decent penny off of it, sales from it. So the whole thing is, if you don't make, it's not going to happen. So that's my advice and my commentary for anyone who's out there trying to, make it happen, don't know how to make it happen. Look, don't think about what you don't have. Think about how you're going to get it. Think about how you're going to make a way. Look, if I don't have something, I'm going to find somebody who does. If I don't have the money, I'm going to go get it. Either way it goes, that's how you have to think. And that's how you have to approach the situation in order to get the solution that you desire. And that's my commentary.
Real quick. And investing is not always about money. Investing can be investing time and investing the knowledge and investing in your education. If you sit there and you read some articles and you're learning and you getting that knowledge, like that's investing. It doesn't always have to be money. You invest, your time, and that's important. Like you said, going on social media, making posts, or, following and getting your numbers up and, sending out invites and, getting your fan base built up. You can spend a whole year just focusing on building up a fan base. That's investing in your music career. And a lot of times that's not going to even cost no money, but it's going to obviously your time, so I just wanted to throw that in there. We're not always talking about.
And I got to say what you know on that, bro.
Big York, you're chopping up. We can't hear you very well. I'm not sure what happened inside there, Big York. We couldn't hear you.
I just wanted to add something. I just wanted to talk about, we keep talking about that they need to market themselves. Well, you do need to market yourself, but you also need to educate yourself, because as we know, there are a lot of artists and actors who forget about their taxes. So you need to educate yourself on your finances. If you're self-employed, you need to know that your credit score is going to affect whether or not you get any working capital or if anybody's going to invest in you. It is a good idea to be an LLC, but also if you're trying to get working capital, they're trying to see how much money you have already before they're going to invest in you. So it's a good idea to understand the financial aspect and not just marketing yourself, because you can have 1 million followers and still not pay your taxes.
Say what?
Is there any way we can see your face?
Oh.
Hear me?
All right, Big York, we can't hear you, but 1 second, Miss Sonia, go ahead. Then you go ahead, Big York. We couldn't hear you for a second there. I don't know what happened, but Miss Sonia was saying something. Go ahead, Miss Sonia, and then you go next.
Yeah, I was just saying that make sure that you understand the financial aspect of whatever job that you're in, because if you don't pay your taxes, then you're not going to make it either way it goes. You know, some's going to fall short, because you see like Wesley Snipes, you know, he didn't pay his taxes. So, you know, he fell to the wayside. So you need to know the financial aspect just as much as you need to know the business. And people will follow you if you stay true to yourself. You know, whatever business that you're in, even if you're just in the store and you're marketing yourself, always be that person. No matter where you are, always be that person, because people will know whether or not you're fake. And if you're fake, they're probably not going to keep following you for long. If they followed you for a while, they're only going to follow you for a little while. So always do what you say you're going to do. And like, as far as with SW accounting, my whole thing is I want to build somebody from the ground floor up. I want to educate you on every financial aspect. And I didn't give my history. I used to work for the IRS as well. So if anybody needs help with their taxes, or as far as if you need to learn how to invest, if you need to become an LLC, all of these things, you know, that's what I'm trying to encompass, because a lot of people don't understand that just because you're in business doesn't mean that you're going to succeed, because you always have to understand your finances, because if you don't have a budget, or you don't know how to spend your money, or, you know, we always see football players out there making it rain when you could have been doing something else with that money. So that's all I wanted to add.
Go ahead, Big York. Go ahead. Big York, you gonna drop in?
He's got to cut his mic on.
Big York, yeah, your mic's off, man. You gotta turn your mic on. Oh man. Big York, we can't hear you. All right, there you go. You on. Go ahead. Oh man. I'm not sure what's going on with your program, Big York. I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah, definitely on the finance end, it's very important to put yourself inside there. Mr. Fifth, you got anything to add in on that? Big York, I'm sorry, we just can't hear you. I'm not sure what's going on.
You know, I think both young ladies and the gentleman made a very good points about understanding what your finances is, your personal life finances. And you know, I'm definitely not above anything when it comes to that. There's some things I admit that I still have to do on my own. When it comes to business, I actually got to create a new LLC for some new things I'm going to be getting into. I think some of the biggest things where artists struggle is, and I think I talked about this earlier, is understanding the business and having some type of game plan. You know, you want to see yourself 12 months down the line. So, putting a proper plan together, I'm going to expend, X amount of dollars on X, Y, Z. The young lady mentioned time. Time is very essential. I'm going to spend X amount of time on X, Y, Z. I know I dedicate myself to sometimes 2 to 3 hours a day on social media. You know what I mean? Whether it's either checking my emails, blogging, responding back with artists, DJs, producers, or other promoters in different realms, trying to connect people and such to such. When it comes to the money part of it, a lot of times I will actually direct those artists to people like yourself for the simple fact that, I stay in my lane. I'm not going to say, hey, okay, I'm going to show you how to do your finances, because that's really not my lane. You know what I mean? But what I can say is, if you're going to jump in this business, you need to think about your money and time first, because there's no way that you can jump in here and say, oh, I'm going to be doing this and not really thinking about that, which I think a lot of artists struggle with that. And artists, if you are listening, and you will be listening to this podcast here soon, don't become an artist without having a plan before you start getting into these studios and start recording. It's really like putting the carriage in front of the horse. Okay. You got to know how much time you're going to put in. If you don't have the proper social media platforms in play, you need to get with somebody or learn what that process is, and then put yourself on a timestamp, because dedicating yourself to music and this business is going to take time from your normal day. You're not going to be like, if you work, 8 hours a day. Well, when you get home from work, doing and kicking it with your homeboys or your homegirls and all that, you have to eliminate some of that. You know what I mean? Unless it has something to do with you musically, or something catapulting your career, or something adding to your career. You have to put yourself where, okay, I'm just going to do this for now. I'm going to write music for now. I'm going to focus on these songs for now. I'm going to get with some people that can help me get my money situation, and have a plan from day to day, have a calendar. Sometimes I have 2 calendars, even one in my phone. I have prompts that remind me, I have other team members who I'm involved with that remind me, so I can stay on the directive, to stay on the same page, to keep my plan going, even as a DJ, promoter, networker. I know things I need to do. I know it needs to get done. Sometimes it requires money. We talked about investing in yourself. Last year I spent $1,700 on a board. You know what I mean? I spent another $3,000 on a gaming laptop. I spent probably another, few $100s on posters and banners, not only promoting myself, but everybody who I'm affiliated with. You know what I mean? So when I am set up and I'm doing my outside events, indoor events, I got my Mr. 50 DJ banner so everybody can know who I am without them actually coming up to actually talk to me directly. So that right there, I knew was a plan. Now I know I have to update some of that stuff. I need to get new banners because there's new affiliations and there's new people I'm doing things with. So my plan is already mapped out and it's constantly getting added, so it does require time. It does require money, but it leads to other things. And I think a lot of people struggle with trying to absorb that time is money and money is time. So I just want to kind of, just throw that in there, just to help artists. And it could be whatever business additive. It doesn't really matter. But I think the biggest thing is stay focused. Make sure you have a plan together with either encompassing time or money and finances and your team.
Powerful stuff. We're going on almost an hour here, and I don't want to keep everyone on the panel waiting. But I definitely want to touch on one last thing, though. And I think this is a very, very nice space to be talking about such. I really want to dive into passion, loving what you're doing, really enjoying whatever it is that you're doing. Whenever you're a musician or you're a businessman, like for instance, me first started out selling things, right? I don't know if you all ever heard of Kirby vacuums or whatever. Well, they had me out there selling Kirby vacuums, going to anyone and everyone's house, like, hey, check out this vacuum, like watch it sweep this floor, and I really couldn't get behind that. I never had a love for that. I never had a passion in showing someone how to work this vacuum cleaner. It wasn't my gig. But then I got into some other things. I learned how to do rock masonry. So masons like building bricks and stuff like that. I learned how to sell firewood. I learned how to build stuff with my hands. More or less the stuff that I enjoyed doing. I learned how to dig ginseng. I really enjoyed digging ginseng. It made me a lot of money. And I can do it at any time, as long as it's during the summer. So it was something I really enjoyed. Then I came into YouTube. Crazy, lo and behold, I'm creating videos. I'm creating content. I love creating content. So now I'm starting to get paid for it. I'm starting to get a nice little chunk of change for what I'm doing. And it's kind of like this. If I hadn't have loved and enjoyed what I was doing, then maybe I wouldn't get as far as what I am. So I kind of want to really talk about this space, enjoying what you're doing and not forcing it. Like you got your 9 to 5, you go work your 9 to 5, sure. Maybe you start at Burger King, maybe you start at Pizza Hut, maybe you start somewhere you don't really want to be, but you're supposed to be taking yourself and putting yourself in a space of what you enjoy and like and where you like being. So yeah, I really want to open that up and talk about that. So let's go ahead and jump on in there. Spill it out, please.
I'll go ahead and
it's.
Oh, go ahead, Valencia.
No, you go ahead.
No, I'll let you go. Go ahead.
Only thing I was gonna say is, so many people go to work for years and years and years, and they hate their job. They hate it, and they just continue to do it. So when you can get it into your mind, in yourself, believe in yourself, and to find something that you love to do, and you can make money from doing it, like that's success. That's the dream. Like, to do what you love to do and to be able to, make a living doing it and make money doing it, because it doesn't feel like work, and you changing people's lives, and it's something you love to do. So you said it already. I mean, doing something that you love to do and being able to make money from it. I mean, I feel like that's amazing.
Well, okay, so I'll comment behind that. So with this whole that was funny. You said you used to sell Kirby vacuums. Man, I haven't heard anybody say that in so long, man.
I did, man. I really did.
Yeah. But okay, so here's the thing, right? Let me share my little life experience. Currently, I am working a job. I do work for someone else. I work in the automotive industry. The company I work for has a major contract with Ford. So they cut what's called blanks. It's just flat metal material that they cut that soon gets shipped to Ford and formed into body parts for the automobile. I do what's called a stacker operator. So I'm the guy who, before the company receives it, I make sure that the product looks neat and it's, in good condition, right? So it's just basically sheets of metal stacked on top of each other or whatever. And I secure it, and then it gets to its next point within our plant, and then they pack it and check it and do all this stuff. But I'm sharing that because I've been an entrepreneur probably most of my life, right? That as far as back as I can remember. Once upon a time, I did have my own business, and but I ended up getting into some legal trouble, which caused me to do some time. After I got out, it was a struggle, trying to get back, because when you don't have nothing, you gotta put yourself in a position to get something. And at Jeff Boat, then I'm not there no more. I went and did my music thing for a short period of time, And that worked out okay, but it just wasn't, moving fast enough. And I got responsibilities. I got kids. I got a lady. And y'all know how that goes. On the table, you got to make things happen, right? This place that I work at, I don't vision myself doing it like, when I say long term, I'm talking about like retiring. But I can tell you that what I did is I started putting myself in a positive mind state about being there, because I actually honestly feel that what I'm doing, the money that I'm making, is going to help me get to the plateau, to that next step where I need to go to help finance, as we talked about before, about money, because we need money to do things. So this helps finance what I'm doing. Now,
North Star, your screen popped off. We can't see you.
Oh, well, let me see what's up right quick. Yeah, it said the video wasn't working, so I don't know. Okay, there I am. I see myself now. All right. So as I was saying, I work this job to finance the things that I want to do so that I can be back in my entrepreneur zone full time, right? So like I said, I do internet marketing. I have been doing that for like about 2 years, making a little money here and there, but most of it's been really researching that business, because if you've ever had a business, sometimes when you jump into business, you may not have the full knowledge that you need, and it's like you learn as you go along. But in my prior experience taught me that it's better to know more up front so that you can have more of an advantage. So that's what I did. I did the reverse this time. The first time when I was in business, I was making good money. There were some mishaps, some things that I didn't know. But fortunately, I had perseverance and I just kept it going, and, things worked out. But this time around, I just reversed it. And instead of going in without knowing, I went in with knowing, and it puts me in a better position. So this is what I'm saying is, I think that when it comes to enjoying anything, I think that you need to find what you like, find what you love, whatever you're doing, put positive energy into it so that you can look at it like, okay, I'm doing this one thing right now, but later on I'm gonna be doing that. And whatever you do with your spare time, you invest that into that, and then more than likely you're gonna achieve what you want to achieve. So when it comes to enjoying what you love, start out with nothing, and then eventually you'll build it into something, and before you know it, you'll be doing it full time. And that's my commentary about that.
I say definitely doing what you love is something great. And definitely creating nothing and turning it into something is an awesome thing. And I just want to iterate that especially if you're doing what you love and you're having fun at doing what you love, and when you put the business part of it, it kind of sucks, but you got to remember that money is like fuel to keep whatever you got going to the next level or plateau.
That's 100 right there.
Big York, Mr. 50, you got anything you want to add in on that? All right. Well, Big York just joined the call again. All right, Big York, you got anything you want to add on that, Big York? You're in here two times. All right, Mr. Fitz dropped off the mat. Big York, you got anything you want to add in on that? Just really having the passion in on what you want to do. Mr. Fitz back on too.
Yes, I'm back. Did I miss anything?
No. We were just talking. I wanted to know if Big York had anything to say about it, or if you had anything else to say about just really enjoying what it is that you do, having and finding that passion there?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I can elaborate on that. And, you know, when it comes to the job things, I've done it. I got 5 kids. I got 6 grandkids. Yeah, I have had to work the job. I drove trucks, 18 wheelers at one time, box trucks. I worked for Amazon briefly. You know, I hate it. You know what I mean? I hate working for somebody else. It just puts me in a foul mood. As I got older, it's like you're not really in control of things. You're being told what to do. You know, your mindset's different. You know, everybody's not built to work for somebody. You know what I mean? I'm that person that's not. I've done it, and sometimes you have to do it for certain purposes and certain things. You know what I mean? Just to get other things done, so you can, reach a plateau. Some people need it for cars. Apartments, houses, maybe. But I think going back to the music part with me is the DJing part. I've always loved it. I always had a passion since I was a kid. I always made it my goal to make sure I had the tools that I need. So when it came time to start making money off this, monetarizing this, I had the tools to do that. So in fruition over the past 15, 20 years, that started to peak, where not only am I a DJ, I really got down in on the promotion part. I really kind of dug in and really fed into more of the music business side of it. I started networking, started rubbing shoulders with some key people. And yes, I've made, at it. I've done okay, I can say. Obviously I could do better. You know what I mean? I want to expand, not only with what I'm doing, but, with some other people. But I love my job. I love it. I mean, I love talking to people. I love networking. I love promoting artists. I love giving them information to inspire. I love DJing. I love hosting. I love being in the club atmosphere. I like being on point, on site, and on location. I just love it, and I'm a networker of networkers. You know what I mean? I talk to people. My wife, she also falls into play, Miss Fifth. She's very vocal. She's very eye-catching. She attracts people. We attract people together. You know what I mean? We work together in different facets, whether it's just out on a normal day, or if it's in the club. I deal all facets of the club. I don't care if it's a strip club, whatever. I deal with it all. Anything that has to do with any promotion to accelerate that artist, or accelerate the brand, or accelerate what I do, that's what we do. And I really enjoy it, and I have a good time doing it. And it really works for me, and it's nothing like, and I think you guys mentioned it, it's nothing like working for yourself or doing something that you love, because it doesn't really even seem like work. You're doing it, just going through what you do, and it's just a normal thing. And, doing conferences and stuff like that, same thing applies. Anytime if I can relate some information, or build people together, or build a team to get on one accord, or to network, or to get things done, I thrive on that. You know what I mean? I think it's one of the things that points. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, get to that point if you're an independent artist, or be a producer, whatever case, engineer, whatever, and valleys, and we have things to help us get to that point. But once you get to that point, there's no turning back. Now you can go full-fledged, saying you can put all your all into it. And there's people like us where you can actually say, hey, man, I'm trying to get more clients. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. You know what I mean? And we can, I know I can make phone calls and probably enhance everybody that's out here doing what they're doing now by just, hey, okay, young lady, she's talking about going over doing things internationally. The gentleman here, design and the marketing. The other gentleman, he's a producer. We got D, that's that builds the internet. We got the other young lady, Shonda, that helps with the finances and explain the taxes. So all those things, I love talking about that. You know what I mean? Because now I'm gonna, what I'm saying, give you some information on things that I know, and direct that individual towards good people that's sincere about what they do and they love what they do. And it's very easy for them to translate that information over.
Big York, you got anything you want to add on that, Big York? Big City? Big City, can you hear me? I think he's got to get his headphones. Headphones, bro. Headphones. Can't hear you. I can't hear you. Big City, we're working on your volume. We're trying to get that volume on there, Big City. Just can't hear you. Heard your keyboard shuffling around, though. Miss Sonia, you got anything you want to add on that, or you good? You good?
I just wanted to say that
we can't see you.
You love what you're doing, because people around you will migrate to you more when you're happy about what you're doing, because you'll be more knowledgeable about what you're doing. You can talk about it all day. You can tell them anything and everything about it if you love doing it. So they'll migrate to you more, and you won't have to even really network because you'll always talk about it. And they'll know everything that you need them to know in those few moments that you're talking to them, because you will relay that in the way that you're talking, that you love what you're doing, and they'll migrate to you because they can feel that you love what you're doing, and they'll believe that you know what you're talking about.
Powerful stuff, powerful stuff. Big York, I'm going to try again. Hey, can you hear us, bro? Can you hear us? Big York? Oh man, I feel like I'm just like I swear, Big York, I'm not ignoring you, man. I'm not doing it, man. Well, you can check in the video. It's all in here. I'm trying to talk with you, but we just cannot hear you. We're getting ready to go on a close, ladies and gentlemen. Before we close out, I want to definitely let everyone go back through, tell them social media sites, tell them where they can follow you, and give you a little spiel, and then I'll go ahead and close out on the show. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll jump it off. Once again, I am North Star America. North Star is one word, America. You can find me everywhere on Facebook. You can, on my Facebook, okay, I got several pages. So I have my personal page as North Star America. I have my page called Live from My Smartphone, as I discussed earlier, which is an album, but also Live from My Smartphone is turned into something else. I have a page called Opportunity Exists, which is for my internet marketing. And that's pretty much it for me to give up right now. I also have YouTube channel is North Star America. You can find me on Instagram at North Star America at Opportunity Exists, and Twitter is North Star America Opportunity Exists. But on that handle, it'll be Opportunity XST. So the XST stands for exist. That's Twitter. So that's at Opportunity Exists. Like I said, Instagram is at Opportunity Exists, spelt out. And that's practically it. You can find me. Let's not forget Top Buzz, the new social media platform. Top Buzz. Find me on Top Buzz as North Star America. All right, there we go.
Got Click Media Design. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. We get your graphic designs done, web development. Got a lot of up and coming great things coming for 2018. It's pajama work if you want to work from home and be your own boss, create your own hours. We got iTech Smart coming soon for your computer repair remotely. So no matter where you are, you get your computer fixed. We got Maxed Outreach. That's going to be a social media agency to take care of businesses, social media. Make money with me, teach people how to be an affiliate marketer on the internet, and SW Accountant for your financial services. Peace. Virtual TV as well.
No, he did. Mr. Finn,
Yeah.
Mr. Valencia Nash, Mr. Finn, Miss Sonia, y'all the last ones we got.
All right, so it's Miss Valencia Nash on my Facebook fan page, on my Instagram, on my Twitter, my Google Plus, everything. So it's MRSValencia Nash NASH. Pretty much everything is on there. So on my fan page, I do list my different services, just to kind of, cut down on the time. But some things that I help people with is their personal development, marketing. I'm not taking on any new artists at the moment as far as management. However, I always offer up my time to do a consultation, so to speak, if need be, and usually that's by referral. I have a sporting app that I've been promoting, and it's called Fire Fan, especially during the playoff times right now. So if you download the app on the Google Play or on the Apple, it's Fire Fan, and you use the code WEN, and you can join my league and try to beat me. No, I help people with their electricity. We sell hair. So any ladies who want to get into the wholesale hair business, we have an entire warehouse over in China, and it's wholesale prices. We only charge $9.99 for people to get in, and then they have access to the wholesale prices. So I said ladies, but guess what? The men sell the hair way better than some of the ladies. So that's a great opportunity. I talked about the international music distribution. So actually, if you go to any of my Facebook fan page or my website is missvalencianash.com, and you can see the information on there as well as far as the international side. So those are just a key highlights of some of the things, but we'll sleep when we die, right? That's it.
All right, Miss Sonia, Mr. Fifth, you all last ones, and we'll be able to roll.
All right, everybody. I guess it's a couple other things. I'm probably going to be doing some joint ventures with Montez and Dwayne. We mentioned VMTV and some other things kind of dialed into that. Primarily, I am a DJ. Promoter. I do some feature show events. I do block parties. I'm a networker of a networker. I'm pretty much the direct guy. You know what I mean? I'm pretty much a directive. There are some other business entities I'm going to get into personally. They're not actually into fruition yet, but right now I'm primarily the Vertigo Midwest, ATL, and the Florida rep. It's going to eventually expand to the Southeast. Some of the core things I do, I handle the artist to DJ relations in compass with some of the other things that you guys have talked about, but I like to deal with them when they're really trying to kick it into gear. They're really trying to hit the road. They're really trying to do the shows and stuff like that. That's some of the cornerstones of the things that I deal with. Not saying I don't deal with starter artists. It's just that I like to deal with more artists that's a little bit more prepared. And that also encompasses not, just me, as my wife's involved. I have some other team members that go on the road. So I am a road street promoter. I travel regionally. You can easily contact me. As you can see, look at my hat right there. It says Mr. Fifth, the DJ. You look all platforms across the board, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all those will, pop me up. If you still have an issue, you can just simple Google Mr. 50 DJ. You can just Google it and all my stuff will pop up. I'm on Vertigo. I'm on Cliptify, Coast to Coast, Nerve DJs. There's various links that's going to capture my name. Also, greenhits.com. All that's kind of, infatuated and directed to me. And my website, which is still under construction, but it's being built, is www. Once again, Mr. 50DJ.com. So I'll be having upcoming events. I'd like for all you guys, if you can, to be a part of it. I do have I am DJing the yacht party and cruise later on this year. It's going to encompass some artists performing, but we're still going to have a good time. It's going to be a whole lot more things I'm be doing when it comes to that. You know, like I said, you know, I'm a street guy. I like to put things together for people to expand, to give them the look, especially when it comes to the artists. The yacht is just something that kind of fell into my lap via Carnival, and I'm kind of reaching that out to some of the artists so they can, like, you know, oh man, Rick Ross and all them doing it, why can't we do it? So now everybody can do it and everybody can be a part of it. So feel free to follow me on any of those social sites. Once again, Mr. Fifth the DJ, all right? And my slogan is Mr. Fifth the DJ, put hot shit on replay, all right? So you can catch me at any one of those times. I don't give my phone number out, but just follow Mr. Fifth the DJ. That's MR, the number 5, TH, the DJ.
Are you done? Okay, I just wanted to go ahead and say my name is Shania Williams. As I said before, I'm twofold. I work for Click Media Design. I'm the HR there, so if you have any questions, you will be in contact with me about iTechSmart, Pajama Works, anything Click Media Design is doing, you will be talking to me about that. You can SW accounting will be coming soon. You can still, if you have any questions about taxes, your credit score, investments, you can still reach me at hr@clickmediadesign.com, or I'm going to spell my name, SHONYA Williams @ymail.com. Again, SHONYA Williams @ymail.com for any financial questions that you may have, or at Click Media Design for all social media sites. Thank you.
There you go.
Hey, you know something? I just realized that the two of you are sitting in the same room. I just realized that when I saw that shot earlier, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Ain't they sitting in the same room?
Look, look, we had hands on any way we can, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you all enjoyed this upload. I do think that we will be having more of these. This is a panel where you're going to be able to come in and get this information, suck it in, and take you to your next step. Again, there's professionals here. We got business people. We got DJs. Viewers. We got people that are in finance. We got website makers. We got whatever it is that you need. If you need that fixed, make sure you come and check out somebody. I wasn't able to put the links in the description box because, well, I was pulling a U-Haul out of the. Anyway, but I will actually be putting all that information in the description box so you all will be able to follow the links. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Montez McCamish from itsmontez.com. As you know, I like to just help people out, give them that advice. If you need anything from me, just leave it in the comment box. Or do something like that. Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. It's Montez McCamish from itsmontez.com. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you don't do that, you're not going to be able to keep up. So, itsmontez.com.